up and to the right, up and to the right, up and to the right.
Hello, millionaire. Short screenplays, my fortune flip. GameStop's journey, an epic trip. From humble roofs to the moon we fly. A company's dream will amplify. Reddit warriors, keyboards in hand. With their eyes on the prize, they took a stand. No one's selling, we're here to fight. How does it go? Up and to the right, up and to the right. We're in for the ride. It's us on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, our ass is in sight. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It's us on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar, more assets in sight. Hedge funds trembling, Kenny's in shock. GameStop stock, you'll never stop. From diamond hands to rocket ships, we're not selling, we buy every dip. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. Up and to the right, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Up and to the right, more asses in sight. Billions in cash on the balance sheet. We will win even if they cheat. Dilute us more, we don't care. Our value grows with every share. The doubters say it can't be done, but the retail army we've already won. With every share we'll never stop. Investors say we love the stock. Up and to the right, we're in for the ride. It's us on the rise, it can't be denied. Up and to the right, through the day and night. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right. Up and to the right. We're in for the ride. Together we'll soar. Up and to the right.
Surprise.
We're gonna win.
All right, y'all. Happy Friday, September 26th. T-11 for the GameStop warrants. We had a little bit of nice price action today. A little bit of what I think is options Friday volatility. We like to see it. Ran up from what, about 25, 27 at market close yesterday to 26.80. We had a little bit of brief discussion on that early this morning in Discord. And it's kind of playing out how these Friday options expirations typically do. You see early morning or midday volatility as people jockey around their positions, figuring out what they're going to do. And then it kind of tapers off. And then, you know, as call options that are out of the money aren't going to be, don't need to be hedged anymore, you get a little bit of selling action. So we'll see. We got 1 hour to go. We got some electronics arts news, which we're going to look at in a minute. I see WCB already asking in the chat what happened with TTWO. Based on the timing, I'm going to say that they're related. We'll look at that in just a minute when a few other people get in here. If you guys want to join the live stream, you can come on camera today. Ask your questions, share your DD. Just let me know in the chat and I'll drop you a link. Always happy to have you guys join in. And let me pull up the electronic arts news. EA drops, not drops, no. Jumps 15% on a report that the company is nearing a near $50 billion deal to go private. I was right. Is nearing a roughly $50 billion deal to go private. The deal would likely be the largest leveraged buyout of all time. Investors include the Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund and Silver Lake. Some would call this private equity buyout of Electronic Arts. What could it mean? Oh no. Leveraged buyout. Let me guess. They want to bankrupt the company, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just too easy to pass up. It will be a debt deal, though, so they better have a plan to generate some profits. But yeah, this is how private equity makes their money. The idea is not to bankrupt the company, but that does happen. It does happen from time to time if they fuck up the numbers, or they didn't do good due diligence on the company they're trying to buy. All right, so EA, let's look at that real quick. GME at 26.26, up about 4%. Electronic Arts, here is the jump on that one. It moved from 170 all the way up to 197. Current market cap at 191 is $47 billion. So you saw an immediate jump if it's being taken private at a $50 billion deal. The price went up to about a $50 billion market cap. And, you know, some people taking profits there. We'll have to see what other details come out. And the price could meander around in this range. If that deal goes through, you could probably expect it to trade in the 193 to 197 range until they're taken private. And if the deal falls through, well, then the price will probably drop back down. And this news hit about 1435 hours. And if we look at TTWO, Take-Two Interactive, about the same time, 1435. I don't know why they, you know, what are people thinking? That private equity is looking at buying all software companies now? That one ran up from only a couple percent, but 248 to 258, already dropped back down to 252. Any news? Yeah. Shares of Take-Two up after reports that EA is in talks to go private. Yeah. That'll probably come back down unless there's some Take-Two news that is waiting to drop. It looks like Roblox is up too, according to the headline that I saw there. Same time of day, getting a little knock-on effect. A nice little bump if you're in these other stocks. Something to take advantage of if you're looking for a quick little swing trade and you were already in it. It'll probably come back down. Buy right back in. You got a nice little gift there. Oh man, this week I've been talking to some folks. We've been watching the headlines on GMEU, the T-Rex 2X long leveraged ETF. I don't know if I want to. Is it worth me making a video about this? Is it really worth it? I just feel like a lot of people don't understand these leveraged ETFs. And they see a headline, they see wait. Where's my this. They see something like this. This is the GameStop one, right? Yeah, GMEU. They have a daily update on the fund holdings and people, where social hiccups. Where social media was running with it a couple days ago, the cash and others said negative 27 million. And they were like, oh boy, the shorts are in trouble. Just wait till the end of quarter reconciliation. No. Nope. This is a long ETF. Not really any shorts that I know of. There are swaps. You can see right here, swaps. They have some T-bills. And then they borrow cash. And then they reconcile on a daily basis. So that's why you have a negative 22 million, because of the cash borrowed. Very normal here. I don't know what people are getting so excited about. As far as investing in leveraged ETFs, 2x, 3x, long, short, I'm just going to say, I don't generally recommend these for people. I have dabbled in not GMEU, but some other tickers or index leveraged tickers. But keep in mind, these are designed for day traders. They have a daily reset, which if you're trying to hold it over the long term can work against you. But if directionally whatever you're buying is on fire, you can maybe overcome that for a short period of time. But yeah, we've had conversations. People have told me various points in time over the years. I was wondering why I was holding that and the underlying was going up and I didn't seem to be making any money. The daily reset, that'll catch you. Anyhow, if you guys are watching now or later and you think it's worth me doing a explanation video, high level, how do these work? Why is negative $21 million, negative 22, negative 27? Why is it not really a big deal? If that interests you, let me know. I don't really know if enough people are following that crack pipe popium to make it worth my time to spend 2 hours to put a video together on it. But if you think it would be of value, let me know and I'd be happy to do that. GME. Let's go back to GME. 2609, still coming down as we kind of expected. Probably close the day right at 26. We got 45 minutes left in the day. Let's see how our other, we're T-11 on the warrants. Bed Bath & Beyond also T-11 on their newly announced warrants. And it is up 2% on the day. Not getting anywhere near the price action that GameStop got over the last 10 days or so. Tesla today up 3.3%. Other meme stocks open, continuing to get punished. Let's put that on the 4-hour real quick. Not as bad as it got punished a few days ago, though. Quantum down 5% today. Genius Group, another meme stock, up 5% on news that the CEO and the board are buying some shares. Careful if you're investing in either of these at the bottom. These are speculative momentum tickers only. They have no redeeming financials that I could share with you that says they're a good long-term hold. You're solely betting on social media, and that makes these very dangerous. Quantum and GNS. They're getting pumped, but a lot of swing traders and probably some shorts in them too because of the poor financials. AMC today up 2%. All of the movie tickers up. We went last night to see one battle after another with Leonardo DiCaprio and et al. That is a 2-hour and 42-minute movie. I am going to give it 2 thumbs up. If you like action movies, shoot 'em ups, car chases, cloak and dagger. There's a little bit of white supremacy undertone versus the little group that Leonardo DiCaprio was in. They were trying to smuggle illegals into the country. And then you had the cloak and daggers. You had the people at the highest level of governments having this secret organization to keep the white race pure. And they would stop at nothing. And they played by no rules. No oversight. Movie was good, though. The action was good. The acting was good. A lot of stars in that film. I think y'all will enjoy that one. I think it's forecasted to do, you know, not super fantastic, $20 to $30 million on opening weekend. Our showing last night was packed, except for the front row. So that was good. It did about $3 million on the opening night, Thursday night. And this is our last weekend of Q3. So go see some movies if you're a movie fan. Gaming fans, big day for GameStop today. You guys, if you're following GameStop, you've probably seen the social media posts. Let me see if I can put one up. One that I retweeted today. Here we go. Bring that down here. Look at these lines. Woo! We like to see that. GameStop put out this letter a couple days ago. A lot of hidden humor in here. A lot. I see some of the tinfoil people, just it goes bling right over their head. They start creating these alternate meanings. It's just humor, but you gotta be able to get the humor. Some of that down here in the footnotes. But we have Pokemon Mega Evolutions Collection, Yu-Gi-Oh! Doom of Dimensions Collection, Magic the Gathering, Spider-Man, EA Sports FC 26, and a free Pokemon promo card if you spend $15. And they said, we seriously recommend you do not visit GameStop on Friday. This is not reverse psychology. I mean, they're just basically saying it's going to be lines because of the amount of stuff going on. And there were lines around the country. Therefore, GameStop, its affiliates, our associate Greg, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and assorted plushies assume no liability and make no warranties that you will find parking, acquire product, or have a really good time and make a ton of friends, although many people do. The footnotes down here, it says, this is not a reverse psychology marketing stunt. Footnote 1, it is. Footnote 2, score a 15% trade bonus on your PSA graded 8+ cards. Pro membership required. And footnote 3, you lost the game. The tinfoil people were thinking that was a shout out to the shorts. I'm just going to tell you, Google the game you lost. You'll figure it out, people. This little joke, I want to know who's writing these press releases and doing general media for GameStop. These people, they got a deep sense of lore, internet lore. $26.09. Let me know in the chat if you got any questions. If you don't have a question, let me know where you're watching from today as we close out this beautiful Friday. The last weekend of the month for GameStop, the last weekend of the month for the quarter for the movie theaters. Hope y'all had a great week. Let me know what your plans are for the weekend. We have not made any firm plans yet. Tonight, Mediocre Trader may join me on a live stream. He said he thinks he's ready to do a live and talk about Webull. Some of y'all were asking about Webull in the chat earlier this week. Ticker BULL. It's had a nice little run just in the last 2 days, 13 bucks up to 15.43. Price targets on this stock as high as 18 bucks, maybe higher. Mediocre is a strong believer that this one is overvalued and it'll retest this high from back in mid-July of 18 bucks. As I mentioned the other day when we got asked about this, when I got asked about this, I have been looking into it along with Mediocre for a couple weeks. I am not at a comfort level where I was ready to jump in on it in terms of the amount of time I've spent going through their financials, but he is in that trade. Let's see who we got here in the chat. I can't even read. It's so small down there. Hadouken, he says, do you play Pokemon TCG? Someone asked me in the comments the other day if I've tried the Power Packs website. I got the beta invite to be able to use the Power Packs website maybe a week or 10 days ago. I know a lot of other people did too. They got that last round of early invites went out, and I set it all up. I got my credit card loaded in there, and I don't know, I've watched 100 different people 20 different times pulling cards. I kind of get the whole experience. I am not a sports card or Pokemon trader, although I'm not opposed to dabbling around with it a little bit. And I probably will at some point on a live stream do a couple of online rips. I was looking at a competitor's website today. What the heck is that one called? I already closed it out. Anyways, you guys probably know. There is GameStop is not the only one that has this online ripping of packs. But it's good to know that there's competitors out there and how GameStop compares functionally to them. I watched a couple of videos today, interviews with folks that are big in the trading card industry and with PSA executives, just because I had a little bit of spare time. There were some recommended videos from our Discord, and I reposted them. We have a room in the Discord if you're a paid member. Discord's free, by the way. Not all rooms are free. But join us in the Discord. There's a link in every video. It is 100% free to join the Discord. Certain rooms does require that you support the channel. But I reposted those videos in the GameStop trading card DD room. So back in the day, Hadouken, when I was a young pup, we collected Topps sports cards. And man, I mean, imagine if I would still have those cards from the 70s today. But alas, you move, you grow up, you don't really think about, when you're a wee lad, you're not thinking about collecting and holding for decades. I wasn't that smart back then. I'm still not that smart. But just for the entertainment value, I'll probably do some pulls. I'm not big on online gambling, and I've seen plenty of people lose plenty of money doing the trading card pulls. So don't expect it to be a regular ongoing feature of my show. I'll just say that. I'll try it a couple times and we'll see if we get lucky. about that. Hadouken says he got beta access, opened 3 $50 packs, and stored my cards. I'm just curious. You tried it 3 times. What were your? Tell me about your results. Did you? I mean, I see a lot of people get cards that were half of what they paid, and then occasionally you get that one that's worth 10-20% more. Sometimes, you know, you get one of the chase cards, a really good pull. How'd you make out? Let us know. Am I still bullish on AMC? Good question. Let me go back to GameStop here. We don't need to be back. We don't need to be on this Weeble chart. AMC, I sold my AMC swing trade position in November. So it's been almost a year that I've not held AMC. Not because I'm not bullish on the movie industry trend. I think the box office is going to be great in Q4 and into next year in 2027. But we early on back in Q4 late last year, we're looking at cash flow in the balance sheet, and I said these guys are going to need to dilute again, and I don't want to be holding ahead of that. And that happened. And then I just continued to see these quarters in 2025 not being good enough for the company really to avoid future potential dilution. So I'll just say what I've been saying for the last year. Right now, there were a couple things that I was waiting on. Most of those have gotten out of the way. The risks that I could quantify are now out of the way and behind us. The company's going to lose money in Q3. Q4 is going to be good. But the last 2 things that are holding me back, Hadouken, is I want to see what's on that proxy in October. This third rail that nobody on social media will talk to you guys about. I'm worried about it. Whether that worry is justified or not, I don't know. I can't quantify it. That worries me. I have no idea what they're going to have on that proxy. If it's good news, then my worry will be unfounded. If it's worse than we expected, then I'll be happy that I waited. And then once we get the proxy, then we have to wait till December for a vote. So at least one thing that I'm still waiting on. I might jump in, you know, if we get all green lights when we see that proxy in October, maybe I'd jump in because I have nothing more to fear. Box office looks pretty good. Take a swing. If the proxy throws me some yellow flags, I might wait and see how people vote in December. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not telling any of you guys that are watching or any AMC investor what to do. You guys all know your own risk tolerance. You might have a different outlook on that proxy. Hopefully you all know it's coming. I'm just telling you, for me, I got to sit out until I see it. All right, he's updated us on his 3 pulls. 42, 60, and 76. So overall, you're ahead. I'd be very happy with that. Congrats. I'm going to put the link. Let's see who's brave enough to join in today on the collab cam. We need to test this out a couple more times. If you can speak like an adult and have a GameStop question or comment or DD or just something bullish that you want to share. Or, I mean, you could have something bearish you want to share too, or just questions. Click that link. It'll pop up on my screen here and we'll get you in. And let's see. That link should work on any phone, iPad, or computer if you have a camera and a mic. I'm going to put a phone number on here too, if I can get logged in. Need a passcode. Need a PIN number. Conference call time. All right. Let me move the chat down here so I can see it. Hadouken says, how do you think GameStop will play out between now and October 3rd, 7th, and from then on? Excellent questions. We've been going over that for the last 7 to 10 days. My thoughts have not changed. I'm mostly bullish through October 3rd, 7th. I don't know what's going to be the breakover point, probably the 7th. So I have been expecting upward price momentum and continue to expect that through probably October 7th, maybe the 3rd. I'd like to see a close today above the 200 moving average, which is 25.88. Looks like we will close above that, probably right around $26 today. That would be a good way to end this week with a close above the 200 on the daily chart. We're well above it on the weekly. And after that, what happens on the 7th? Here's my general thought. All of this talk about the shorts having to scramble for warrants and this thing's going to go to the moon next week, 10 days from now, whenever. $14 million handed out just to the bondholders alone. They're probably about 40 million shares short, so they'll need 4 million warrants. They'll have 10 million extra. What do they do with those? Do they hold them or sell them? There's another, 20 million, 15, 20 million shorts that will not get warrants that are going to need to either pay the lender cash in lieu or go obtain them in the open market. And there'll be plenty of liquidity on those warrants, I believe. So they should not have a huge problem going out and finding the warrant. That's my thoughts. Still could be a couple interesting days, though, because, there's going to be price discovery on the warrant. There's going to be high demand, probably from retail traders who have been tricked into thinking that it's going to be some meaningful thing around those dates. If I'm going to buy any extra warrants, for me, They call me Mr. Patience. Probably wait for the volatility to kind of wear out, however many days or weeks that takes. Warrant value comes down, then snag a few. I don't know if that'll happen, but that's kind of how I see it playing out. If you're one of those people that is thinking about selling warrants, like you don't have the money to exercise them, I hear these YouTubers saying, just sell your shares to exercise your warrants so you have cash. Like, how about just sell your warrants? Like, if your warrant ran up to 19 bucks, why do you need to sell legacy shares that you have to then exercise and get a $32 basis on your shares? Like, don't be a dumbass. Just sell the warrants. Pocket the money. You'll have time value that you obtain by selling the warrant. Time value in excess of the current price of the shares. And you could pocket that, and then you could still just go buy the shares. And you put money in your brokerage account. Like, why are these people advising people to sell shares, legacy shares, to exercise warrants? Isn't it much simpler just to sell the warrant, pocket the time value, and then go buy the shares in the open market? You get more shares, you keep your legacy shares, and you put money in the bank. Maybe I'm just dumb. What am I missing here? WR332 says, I've been holding GameStop since mid-2021, haven't sold a single share. To be honest, I thought that large 8 play was over. A little surprised to see coverage of this stock. How you doing? This warrant thing doesn't come along very often. I only found 7 warrant dividends in the last 5 years. Warrants are common. Warrant dividends are less common. And now we got a twofer. Not only do we got GameStop, we got Bed Bath & Beyond doing the same damn thing. And it's very exciting times. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen. I have my certain ideas about what's going to happen. No guarantee I'll be right. But I believe that many people that are making too much of this are going to be very disappointed a day or two after the warrants are distributed. And then they'll do the normal blaming crime and naked shorts and overseas moving FTDs, all the... It can't be that they just didn't understand the trade. Got to be crime. I don't know. I'm just laying out some logical explanations why they might be wrong. You'll have a couple weeks to contemplate the information I've been sharing, and then we will all find out on October 7th. I'll either be a genius or a laughing stock. But I do say that there could be some, on the day that they're just, the first day or two that they're distributed, a little bit of extra volatility and price action would not surprise me. Really just depends, I think, on how many passive ETFs and how many convertible bondholders decide to sell the warrants versus how many shorts need them. I think it'll be close to even. If they're smart, if these big institutions are holding warrants that they want to dump, if they're smart, they'll try and wait, let the price run up a little bit, and then you'll see, here's your supply. We shall see. Now, what am I bullish about? What would I like to see to make everybody happy? What would I like to see to make my normal situation be incorrect? GameStop drops some extra news. That's the potential fuel to this fire here. If GameStop has some extra news on or around the warrant distribution date, or even any time in the next 12 months after that, these warrants could become very valuable. Extra news as in, here's our plan to do something with the cash, investment, acquisition, what have you. Roaring Kitty comes back, combination of the both. Anything like that that can add a little FOMO fuel to the fire, or even doesn't have to be FOMO. If GameStop's got some tangible investment news, you could get a revaluation of the value of the company. Like I've been telling you guys for months, the cash on the balance sheet, you cannot give it a value right now. It's worth cash minus the debt. So it's worth about $11 a share on book value. Everybody wants to ignore the debt. Well, GameStop's worth $22 if you look at their cash. You're ignoring the debt. You know that, right? Even though it's interest-free, it's still there. It's a liability. It's debt. It's on the balance sheet under long-term debt. But it becomes a non-issue if they take that cash and deploy it in a fashion that causes us to be able to have new expectations for earnings per share, ROA, ROIC, ROE. Then you could get a complete revaluation of GameStop share price, depending on what they do with the money. And by revaluation, I mean above where we're at right now, maybe even above 32. So that, for me, you know, as a speculator, I know what GameStop's worth right now. It's not 40, 50, 100, 500, what these people are telling you. It's just not. Look at the earnings, look at a reasonable PE ratio. It's pretty easy to figure out what GameStop's worth, but it is potentially worth a lot more than that if the cash is put to use. That's for us that like to speculate, I think there's relative safety buying around 20, 21 bucks, unless there's an entire market crash. And the upside is really, really good if you are a gambler. So limited downside risk, with the exception of a market crash or Ryan Cohen getting hit by a train, and a lot of potential upside. I'm not going to give you price targets like all the other pumper channels do, or tell you rockets tomorrow, because I don't know the future. I can't see the future. I can tell you there's definitely potential. You make your own choices if you're a gambler or not. I'm in at, just to refresh, for those that are first day here, I'm in since June 12th at 2161. I was in at April 2125. I sold up here at 33, anticipating some more dilution. We got bonds. Beautiful for me. I didn't quite catch the top, but good enough. $12 a share profit, bought back in very close to where I was before. That's just utilizing common sense, patience, and not listening to these pumper clowns on YouTube and the engagement channels on X. I do my own DD. I get it. It's not popular with the pumpers. I get it. We'll probably never be able to have a beer together because they want you to buy every day at any price. I've found that patience and having reasonable entry and exit targets works well for me. That might not work well for you. That's cool. Go do your thing. But don't criticize me for what is working. I've seen way too many people crying, gnashing their teeth, upset, impatient, because they don't have a good plan. They're just buying, buy. Ryan keeps diluting, selling bonds. nipping their dreams in the bud. Ryan's taking care of the company. He's taking care of long-term holders. You better have a long-term plan. You want to ride with Ryan Cohen. He's taking care of the company. He's not trying to deliver a MOAS. We might get one by accident. That'd be cool. Depending on what he announces, when he announces it, we'll see. Louis, tell me what you did. I'm trying to understand your message. You almost YOLO'd in on calls today for same day. Did that early morning pop get you excited? We've seen this too many times on Fridays to get suckered in. The early morning run followed by the walk down. First thing I told Discord is stays in, guys. Friday options expiration. Hadouken says he's been here for 4.5 years. Cheers to you. I also have been here since July of 2021. I watched GameStop in January 2021. I did not participate. I started buying it after that, and I tried the whole hold thing. That didn't work out. And I started swing trading it when they peaked at the fervor of the split, however many years ago that was. That is when I sold. And then I waited for it to tank and bought back in. I've only been swing trading it since then. Not ashamed to admit it. It's worked out very well. It's been a very profitable strategy. I get it. It makes people, upset. Some of you like me are more interested in making money. You could use that strategy to increase your amount of shares every time. And like I said, if you're really, really worried, what if I sell? What if it would have, when you sold at 33, Tony, what if it would have run to 60 or 100 or 500? If I was really that worried about it, and I'm not, if I was that worried about it, I'd buy the farthest out of the money calls that I could. The cheapest calls. Just as cheap insurance. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not really worried about that. I gave up that worry years ago, worrying about what if I miss a run up. That is a tactic to keep you holding instead of taking care of yourself. It's a social media manipulation tactic. A lot of the YouTubers and stuff they've brainwashed themselves that it's a bad tactic. I can't help everybody. I'm sorry. I can't. Some people are beyond salvation. They're beyond help. Their brain has become fried into believing only one way to look at this trade. I look at it like I do any other ticker, with the added kicker that there might be a sweetener, a little bonus FOMO run up. That'd be fine with me. Come on back, Keith Gill. Hallie, how you doing? He says, yeah, Hallie, you've been here way too long, just like me. I know you got a good head on your shoulders. Captain 9. Is it Captain 9? Discovered your channel, he says, a few days ago. Refreshing to hear your views on GameStop compared to Super Stonk. I check in on Super Stonk just for entertainment every now and then. After all these years, I still do not have enough karma to post there. And I do have my own my own Reddit channel. Y'all can go upvote me there. Help me out on the karma front. But I would bet you, because I have a more sensible investor viewpoint on things, that they'd probably boot me the first time I tried to add any commentary. I don't know. I just read it. There's some interesting stuff on there. I like to keep very close in tune with the psychology. I don't go there for due diligence or to figure out how to trade better. Let's put it that way. But I can get a good pulse of the retail psychology. And look, if you're swing trading retail stocks, you better fucking understand the psychology. If you don't understand it, then you are part of the people that are going to be taken advantage of. Let's put it that way. Almost everybody in my Discord just sit back, chill, analyze these like normal stocks. We shake our head at some of the things that are said, and we trade and we make money. It doesn't mean we hate the companies, doesn't mean that we're bearish. We're in love with our portfolio. I don't fall in love with a ticker, or I don't worship any CEO. CEOs are doing their jobs to raise money, to fix balance sheets, to keep retail involved because they need you. And if they do their jobs well and you get a good entry, a good price, you will likely be rewarded in the long run. GameStop, I think a lot of that, the fear of GameStop being a bad trade, that is gone. There's no bankruptcy thesis in GameStop. It's all about getting the most intelligent entry now. And compare that to an AMC, there's, in my mind, still a lot of fear. Should be. Because you have a proxy coming up in 3 weeks. You should be at least a little bit cautious. We don't have the full roadmap yet. We know there's a curve coming up. We don't know which way it's going to go. Hallie says they don't like someone who hits singles. They only like home run hitters. Yeah, but I mean, in this game, Hallie, how many home runs? We get what, maybe one home run a year in GameStop? I've sold into every single one of them. I sold into the split home run. I sold into the Roaring Kitty home run last year. I sold more recently into the home run to $33. And every single time I was able to just sit back, wait a little bit, and buy back in. Very close to my original buy-in price. I don't know why that's such a hated strategy. Like, when did we become so hateful of people that are profitably trading, being transparent about it, and trying to educate others on different ways to analyze a play? You could still love a company. Doesn't mean you can't employ common sense. What do I make of this run up at the end of the day? Chris is asking. I was expecting, Chris, that we might close at 26, but it is a options Friday. Let's just look at the strikes close to the money. We got 22. No, I want open interest. 6,829 calls at 26 and a half. We got 21,700 at 27. I was thinking they would try and close it around 26, but because of the puts here, they probably want it slightly above that. 20, 25. 98, 2605 doesn't make that much difference. I would be really shocked if they were able to push it over 2650 though. Looks like that's where they want to pin it, right underneath the strike price. And that is it. Ding, ding, ding. 2642. Yeah, I didn't even look at Max Payne, but let me pull it up. Swaggy Stonk says $26. That was kind of, my eyeballing it earlier today. That's what I came up with, but we got to close above that. That's cool. Robert says, as soon as GME hits 30 after next Friday, I'm selling it all and taking my 1,000 profit. $1,000, Robert? Is that what we're talking about? Just a recap for me, someone asked me the other day, do I have a price target that I'm going to sell at? I do not. But generally, I start asking that question whenever we get a really big run up into this higher supply zone, like I did sell back here in May. I start asking that question. I'm looking at the chart, looking at volume. Oh, I got a caller. Hello.
Hey, this is WR332. I was in chat.
Yeah.
I had a question if you have a moment.
Yep. Let me see if can you guys hear him okay?
You need me to speak up? I can, I guess.
I see you showing up in the mixer, so it looks like they can probably hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm more of a passive, not really a day trader by any stretch of the imagination. But I jumped in on GME, back in mid 2021, and I bought again in 2022. I think any gains I would have got, since I didn't sell, I haven't realized them. So I'm kind of at where I'm at right now. I was just reading. I didn't even know you guys were even covering GME anymore. It's good to see that there's still guys out there taking advantage of the market. I was just reading up on it, and CNN seems to think that GME is not going to outperform the market this next 12 months. And I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on that. I mean, I'm a long-term GME holder, and I want to continue to take advantage of that.
You said CNBC or CNN?
CNN.
There's only one analyst covering GameStop, and he has not had a history of being very correct. Michael Pachter, you know him, right?
Yeah, I do.
And GameStop does not give any guidance, which is why there are no analysts covering the stock. Revenue has been forecasted for a long time to go down because of the store closures. And really what we want to see, us armchair analysts, we want to see a couple quarters of results showing that GameStop has turned the corner. The recent results we got were stellar, right? The company beat on revenue. They whittled down the SG&A, and they beat expectations on earnings. Beautiful. Can we do that one or two more times? That's I think a reasonable question to ask. And if you listen to the pumper channels, they'll tell you absolutely. I don't speak in absolutes because my crystal ball is not that good. I can say I hope so. They're doing the right things, and with the launch of the Power Pack website into the public now, there's a good chance that could drive some new revenue that we haven't seen in results before. So it's exciting to contemplate, and it's also a reason why I'm not in a rush to just sell GameStop here at $26, even though I got in at 21. Some people would say you're up 20%, take the gains. I think there's enough volatility in this stock that $26, $27 might not be the top end. And as far as any news outlets seeming bearish on GameStop, we're just used to that because they're not giving any value to the potential of the cash. They're just looking at earnings and revenue trends. Revenue trend is down generally, and with the exception of last quarter. And earnings, it's tough to create a story without any firm guidance from management of how do you value this thing higher. The only way you get there is you dream a little bit and say, I'm going to roll with Ryan Cohen. I have full confidence that he's going to do something intelligent with that cash. And that could very well be a fantastic bet, between you and me. But for a news organization to put their reputation on the line, they're not going to do that. They're not. So that's why I think you see the more bearish sentiment from most other news sources. They're only looking at posted results and lack of management guidance.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thank you for your opinions and thoughts on this.
I have been here all along watching GameStop. I have not done tons of GameStop coverage because there are people that are more heavily invested in it than me. And, I wasn't that interested in providing ongoing coverage of GameStop while they were in a declining revenue situation. But, I think it's very fair and reasonable now based on the balance sheet. And, they've reached operational profitability. And we have the exciting Power Packs thing. It's reasonable to be a lot more bullish about GameStop now. I have a lot more confidence talking about it. If you've listened to these other channels for the last 4 years, unless you bought it $10, you were probably buying a lot of shares that are still underwater.
Yeah. No, I'm right at my entry price point from about 4 years ago.
The other thing,
I bought mid 2021, so I bought after the spike after $10.
The other thing that I see from the people that still cover GameStop is just a not very good understanding of how to value companies. They take what is a speculative valuation and they make it seem like it is today's valuation, and that is just not a factual way to look at it. It'd be okay to say, here's what I see for future earnings. If X investment is done at X, Y, Z ROIC, you draw me a map with math and tell me how you're getting your valuation. But just to say it's going to be valued at $500 in 2 years, like that's just pipe dream hopium nonsense. There's nobody really doing any good work on how to value GameStop. And when I see that vacuum and that kind of misinformation, it makes me want to cover the stock a little bit more.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much for your time. And I have been watching you for a few years now. So like I said, it was surprising for this to come across my feed and pleasantly slow. So thank
appreciate
you.
Yeah, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Hallie says the great unknown is the PSA effect. Yeah, that definitely adds to the mix, right, Hallie? Kenneth says, can we expect any good news coming from GameStop on October 3rd? I'm not expecting any. I'm just going to say at any time after October 7th in the next year, if they announce some use of the cash, I would not put a top limit on how high the price could go based on excitement. That could be a key moment for people looking to lock in some gains. So I'm not expecting that news will necessarily come on October 7th. You got 13 months for Ryan Cohen to work something out. And that's fine with me. All right, before we close up here, I just want to check Railtown, our little OTC stock, see if they released any news after hours today. It's like scratching a lottery ticket. And it looks like still a no. Good God almighty, people. What are you waiting on? That ticker is this RLAIF. A pre-revenue OTC pure gamble stock for the most extreme lovers of risk. Not a recommendation. Do your own DD. You know, I like to speculate on a few. They got a pending acquisition of a company with revenue, and I'm hoping that news is good and that the dilutive effects of the acquisition are minimal. But as of right now, still no news. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Hallie, thank you. Yeah, that video you sent was very interesting. I watched both of them this morning over coffee and breakfast. All right, I am going to take a quick break. I'm going to check in with Mediocre. What time is it? 3:15, 3:11. Check in with Mediocre and see if he's agreeable to doing a live stream tonight to talk about Webull and whatever other swing trade tickers you guys want to talk about. We can talk about meme stocks too. Who knows? You know, maybe in the next couple hours we get some other news. Big news today, Electronic Arts. Looks like some private equity funds, including Saudi Arabia and Silver Lake, have approached them about doing taking the company private for $50 billion. So go check that one out, ticker EA, and some of the other related software companies have got a little bit of price bump, but I don't really think that those will hold their price run up like EA did, and we'll stay tuned. Chris, let's see what Chris said. 8Ball, what is CNN the best news network? Forget about it. I love it. I want to find an 8Ball, Chris, that is AI, so that we can ask it more than yes or no questions. But the 8Ball still is fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out this afternoon with a green candle up, a red candle down, and I hope to see you guys later this evening. Let's hang out and have a smoke.
A red candle down, by the dip, gotta hold our ground. We've been waiting for so long, hedges rain will soon be gone. A green candle up, a red candle down, by the dip, gotta hold our ground. Hedges gains are dead and gone, but the shorts we're going on. If you doubt it, sit and stare. If you love it, buy a share. A green candle up, a red candle down, by the dip, gotta hold our ground. We've been waiting for so long, hedges rain will soon be gone. A green candle up, a red candle down, by the dip, gotta hold our ground. Hedges gains are dead and gone, but the shorts we're going on. If